We have got One Piece Chapter 1162 spoilers, so spoilers beware if you don't want to see One Piece spoilers. It continues with God Valley, and this is just absolutely insane. So the title of the chapter is God Valley Battle Royale. Finally, we have an end for the cover page of Yamato. So it ends with Yamato returning to the Flower Capital and reuniting with the others, so Yamato has completed the journey with following what Oden did. Personally, I guess I haven't talked about this since this is one of my first One Piece videos on the main channel. I have a second channel for One Piece, but I want to try and transition this channel into One Piece. I did talk about this where I don't like this idea of Yamato trying to do everything that Oden did. I do think that Yamato should have gone down the route of just being themselves and learning to accept who they are, rather than imitating Oden and trying to be Oden, but I guess not. And I don't know if Oden... I guess in this case, Yamato, I almost called Yamato Oden, which does match. Yamato wants to be called Oden. In this case, Yamato, are they going to join the crew in the future? I still think they will, probably in the final arc, but we'll see what happens with that. So, this chapter starts off with Rox saving Eris and Teach. It's like he's helping them to escape, and Eris told Rox to meet in Lulusia. This is just tragic, because that means that if Eris were to be alive like an old woman, I mean, she's probably dead. She probably got nuked, you know, in Lulusia, unless Saba happened to save her. But this is crazy. So Teach is from Lulusia then. I guess he's not originally from Lulusia, but he actually was living there and grew up there when, I guess, after Rox had died. This is insane to me. So does that mean that Teach knows who his father is? I guess it makes sense, since Rox probably visited Teach quite often, and I guess Teach just kept it a secret. For whatever reason, he decided not to tell Whitebeard or anyone else that his parents Rox, and I don't get why, because we can see right here, you know, Whitebeard does help Rox out quite often. I'm not saying they're close friends, I'm not saying like he's a massive ally of him, but it just seems strange to me that he purposely hid that fact from Whitebeard this entire time. And it makes sense why he kept the name Rox D. Teach secret, or I guess it's crazy because we have Marshall D. Teach, which is a fake name because his real name is Rox D. Teach, but that is also a fake name because his actual name is Davy D. Teach. So he has 3 names, all of D, 2 of which being fake, right? Regardless, or Zebek, sorry, Rox D. Zebek, so it'd be Teach D. Zebek, or Rox D. Teach. You get the idea. The point is, it's actually Davy. Davy is actually Teach's real name, and I wonder, he should know that, because they talk about the Davy clan in this chapter, so does that mean that Teach knows that he's from the Davy clan? It makes it interesting. Like, how much does Teach really know about his origins and his true lineage? That is going to be very important, I think, for the end of JJK. Now, this part is really awesome. Personally, I'm really loving the whole Yonko interactions, you know, seeing Big Mom and Kaido. So right here it says, Big Mom took the Azure Dragon Fruit with the intention to give it to Katakuri, which... that would have been crazy. Can you imagine if Katakuri had the dragon fruit? That would have been nuts. But Kaido ambushes her, snatches the devil fruit, and eats it immediately. So this is different from what I thought. I thought Lin gave, and this was like the popular theory going around, where she gave Kaido the fruit on the brink of death and saved his life. That's how she always made it sound, like, you owe me one. But no, it actually turns out this guy like ambushed her, took the fruit, and just ate it. And we will see Kaido's dragon form later on in this chapter. I cannot wait to see the leaks in the full chapter. It's going to be crazy. And I will be making a video on that covering both things, so be on the lookout for that. And actually, I should just say this now while I'm recording. Be sure to leave a like for more One Piece content, and subscribe if you haven't, if you're new to this channel. If you want to see One Piece content like this, I will be covering One Piece from this point on. So if you like One Piece, you will not regret subscribing. And then of course, we have Rox defeating Garling. I mean, it's Rox. Who's going to stop him, right? I say that as if the next line is who is actually going to stop him. Imu possesses Saturn in the spider form. Okay, so this breaks the theory where some people had that maybe Imu could only possess Gunko, or there was a special connection. It seems like maybe this is what seems to be likely. Anyone who's connected to the abyss, whatever this abyss is of Imu can just take possession of anyone there. So there's like a theory going around where Shanks, in his hand before, we see he has the abyss tattoo. Maybe that was a world government tattoo, maybe it's an abyss tattoo, but if it was an abyss one, that means he was at the mercy of Imu until that Sea King ate Shanks' arm, removing him from the shackles of Imu. That's a really awesome theory, by the way. But yeah, if it seems like you're part of the abyss, Imu can just take possession. So any of the Gorosei, any of the Gods Knights, or anyone that has that tattoo or is a part of the abyss, he can just take control. So he takes control of Saturn, and Imu turns the remaining Davy clan members into demons. That is just brutal. So, does that mean the Davy clan members that were turned into demons, are they still alive? Like, are they just in Mary Jo's pub and just waiting to be Mary Jo, how do you say it? Are they just waiting to be freed there? Like, are they just demons in Imu's army? Or I wonder, like, this whole thing of Imu turning people into demons like he did with the giants, does that have a time limit? Because the way he made it sound with Drogi and Brogi is that there is no time limit. He says, you guys are going to become the kings, and you guys are going to rule this place from now on moving forward, which makes it seem like he can just keep them as these demons as long as he wants. Like, if there were a time limit, he wouldn't have done what he did, like saying, you guys are going to rule over Elbaf for this long period of time. If that's the case, it could be possible that these Davy clan members are still demons. And once Imu's defeated, they might be turned back into humans. So I don't know what's going on there, but we'll see if the Davy clan members are killed in this God Valley flashback. Now, this is the best part, the absolutely crazy part. At the end, Whitebeard, Kaido in his dragon form, join Rocks in confronting Imu. So, there's no Big Mom. I do hope she comes in. I know Big Mom gets a lot of disrespect. She's her. She's a very strong character. She's Yonko for a reason. But man, this is just insane. So, all three of them are taking on Imu. What this means is that Kaido and Whitebeard, and like, they know about Imu, first of all. And of course, Roger and those guys would know. But I wonder, like, does Garp know? It seems like they probably know. Sengoku, do they know? But that's crazy to me. So Whitebeard and Kaido knew this whole time about Imu. And Whitebeard, I guess in this case, Kaido actually, even though he knew about Imu, he still wanted to, like, destroy the world and everything, right? He still wanted to go that route. And it seems like this whole secret of Imu isn't something that was like such a big secret. It seems like all of the big shots already knew. So like Big Mom, Kaido, Whitebeard, they already knew about Imu. Roger, of course, knew about it, and his crew like Rayleigh, Gaban. And I wonder, like, probably Garp is like, Garp's on God Valley. He would know about Imu as well. So this thing that was like a secret to us, Imu being this actual demon, isn't really a secret, I guess, like to the heavy hitters of the One Piece world. But that's pretty much it for the chapter. It was a very cool chapter, and I will be covering the leaks when they come out, the actual page leaks, and I will be covering the full chapter when it's out on TCB. So, again, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for a ton of One Piece content like this. I want to make way more One Piece content, so let me know your thoughts, like, what do you think I should do better, like, if you liked it or not. Any suggestions you have, let me know. I want to try get into this, and I will be still covering JJK, so be on the lookout for that. Actually, today, I will be uploading a JJK video, so that's all from me. Have a great day, and thank you so much, guys, for watching. Bye.